All righty. We will probably end up going a little over time today because we're getting a late start, but I don't think it'll be by much, okay? Today, we are going to be looking at editing the letters that you are writing to Uncle Thomas George Cushman, okay? So on your activities for Seesaw, you're going to scroll down to yesterday's activity called Pilgrim's Friendly Letter Back Home. So it'll be the 1, 2, 3rd assignment, okay? We're going to work on day 2. And day 2 says with your teacher, we're going to go over our objective. We're going to learn how to edit our letters. And then you guys are going to use breakout rooms to edit a partner's work, okay? So we're going to look for mistakes in our writing and fix that before we turn it in. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my response. So you do the same. I'm going to open up mine and edit it. I think yours says finish response. Go ahead and open that up. And we're going to go to where the stop sign is on 3, because that's where we left off yesterday, where the stop sign is on 3. Oh, yeah, I am sharing my screen. Okay, I'll give you a minute to get there. Remember, I recommend making your screen smaller with your work over here, and then you can put your zoom over here. That way you can see my work and your work at the same time. As always, I will be keeping mine larger so that it is easier for your eyes to see. Okay, all righty. Our objective for the day, as you know, is that you are going to revise your writing to improve it by using editing for formal conventions. So these items down here are what you're going to be looking for: spelling, capitalization, usage, that means are you using words the right way, and punctuation, okay? Punctuation is the biggest one that our class struggles with. Remember, you put a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point at the end of each idea that you have, okay? So if you're talking about shelter, there should be a period before you move on to talking about food. That's a new idea, okay? So you are going to use available technology to produce and publish legible documents. Legible means that it's able to be read by someone else, okay? This is a short explanation from Ms. Sharp about an acronym that you can use called CUPS to help you edit.
Remember, your goal today is to revise or improve your writing and to edit to look for correct spelling, capitalization, understanding, and punctuation. You will also be using the computer and the typing to produce something that can easily be read by other people.
And you will see right here we have an acronym called CUPS. CUPS is a way to help you edit. It stands for something with each letter. The C stands for capital letters. Do you have capitalization at the beginning of each sentence? U stands for understanding. Can your audience understand what you have read? The P stands for punctuation. Do you have punctuation in the appropriate places? And the S stands for spelling. Is your spelling the best that you know how to spell? Okay, so this is what you're going to be editing for today. You are going to be copying your letter here. So your letter that you had yesterday, you can copy that by doing this. Control copy, and then I'm going to go here and watch what happens. Boom, control view. I put it here, okay? I'm going to be editing this letter to make it make sense. Make sure it has all of the parts that we just talked about in terms of capitalization. Can we understand it? Is there appropriate punctuation? And do we have, what's this? The S, I just forgot. Spelling. Oh yes, spelling. I wanted to say make sense, but that's understanding. So here's how that looks. I'm going to first read mine for capital letters. That is the only thing that I am going to do. I'm going to look for capital letters, okay? So I'm actually going to get my highlighter and I'm going to highlight where I don't see capital letters at the beginning of my sentence. We, there it is. There's a period. Oh, look, there's not a capital letter there after my period. I'm going to keep going. Oh, look, another period and no capital letter. Capital letter, good. Capital letter, good. Oh, period, no capital letter. Capital letter, good at the beginning. Okay, okay. Period, capital letter. See how I'm not reading my words? I'm just looking for punctuation in my capital letters. Good. Okay, period, capital letter. Okay, capital letter, good. England. Oh, look, England has a capital E because it's the name of a place. That's good. Period, capital letter, period, capital letter. Native Americans are capitalized because it's the name of a people group. Good. Period, capital letter, period, capital letter, exclamation point, capital letter, and period. Okay. Capital letter to start this sentence. Period, capital letter, period, capital letter, exclamation point, capital letter, period, capital letter. Uncle Thomas is capitalized because that's his name. Good. Anyway. Okay. Awesome. But guess what? I need to make sure that my closing also has a capital letter. So I'm going to sign my letter to Uncle Thomas with love. And then obviously my name needs to be capitalized. Stephanie Souza. Okay. So now that I've found where I need to have capital letters, I'm going to go add them. So I'm going to go erase my lowercase t and put my capital T. I'm going to erase my lowercase o and put my capital O. I'm going to erase my lowercase w and put my capital W. And then I'm going to erase those highlighting marks because I fixed it all. Okay. This is what you're getting ready to do with a partner. The only thing that you are going to look for right now is cups, capital letters. You're not looking for spelling. You're not looking for punctuation. You're not looking for understanding. You're only looking for capital letters. Okay. Questions on what you are getting ready to do, Aiden G. So I'm going to put you with one partner. So one person that you are going to read your sentences with and to. If you did not get your work done, you're going to have to do all of this independently. Okay, so you're kind of letting your partner down because they can't edit your work, but you are still expected to help them edit. Okay, so if you did not get done, you're not going to get much help today. If you did get done, you're going to be in a great spot, but it is your job to help your partner edit whether you finished your work or not. Okay, alrighty, I got it in the chat. Let's see. Okay, alrighty, Aiden, I see that, kiddo. I am sorry. We'll have to get those sentences typed back up during your work time. Okay, I know it's frustrating. Question was, how do you copy it? So again, I'm going to go to the box that I want to copy. That's this box. And on my keyboard, I am going to press the control button in the lower left corner, CTRL. I'm going to press, and then I'm going to push C for copy. Okay, so C copies it. And then when I want to put it on the screen where I want it, I'm going to press control. And then I'm going to press V, which means view, that you want to see it or view it. That is how you can copy those sentences over so that you do not have to type each one individually again. Okay. All right. I'm going to send you to your breakout rooms. The only thing that you are editing for is capital letters. You're going to read your partner's work and see if they have capital letters. Your partner is going to read your work and see if you have capital letters. So you are going to look at each other's screen and say, oh, you need a capital letter there. You're missing one. Okay. All right. Here come your invites. Awesome. You just edited your partner's work for capital letters. Now you are going to do the you. Okay. You are going to see if you can understand what your partner's letter to Uncle Thomas is saying. So you're going to look for parts that are confusing. Okay. So I'm going to take a look at my letter and I'm going to see if something is confusing. We have made it safely to the New World. There were some troubles, but we got there. On the boat, a lot of people got sick. It was really stinky. The boat ride was over 2 months long. We had to stay on the bottom of the ship so we didn't fall off the deck. Okay, that makes sense. Notice this is different. Before, I was just quickly reading and looking for capital letters. Now I've got to actually look at the words to make sure it makes sense. Okay? If there's a part of your partner's work that you can't read, then you need to say, hey, what does that say? And have them read it to you. Okay? If they read it and it doesn't make sense, then you'll say, what does that mean? And then you should start fixing it right there. So I would grab my typing tool and I would start fixing it. Okay, right inside of your breakout room. So you are going to read all of your partner's letter and you are going to check that you understand it. Does it make sense or is it confusing? Okay. What questions are there about what you are getting ready to do? William, how can I help?
So do we write a whole nother paragraph, or do we just take the one that we did at the beginning and take to the bottom? And
Yes.
That's the finished product?
Correct. So you guys wrote your words yesterday. Today, you're making those same words perfect. The only reason you should be writing more is if you did not have 8 sentences or if it doesn't make sense. That's the only time that you guys should be writing more sentences. Okay? All you're doing today is fixing the sentences that you did yesterday. Does that make sense or is it still confusing?
Makes sense.
Awesome. All right. So you are looking at your partner's work. Can you understand it? Do you understand? Okay. So reading your partner's work, telling them if it makes sense. Your partner reading your work, telling you if it makes sense. I'll give you guys about 4 minutes, 2 minutes each to read each person's work. Should be enough. Bye. Here we go. So you have edited your work for capital letters. You have checked for understanding. Now you are getting ready to look for punctuation. And like I shared with you, this is the biggest one that we're struggling with, kiddos. A lot of us have a huge, long sentence with tons and 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 tons of words, and then you go period at the very end of your letter. You've got to have punctuation. So I want to point something out to you. I did more than 8 sentences, but look at how many punctuations I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Woo! 22. Now, y'all don't have to have 22 because you were told you only need 8 sentences, but you have to have at least 8 because if you have 8 sentences, then you have 8 periods or exclamation marks or question marks. Okay? You have to have at least 8. So when you are reading your partner's work, I want you to count, touch the screen and go 1, 2. And if they don't have 8, they don't have 8 sentences or they forgot about punctuation and you got to let them know that. Okay? Questions about your punctuation? Hold up to the camera. How many fingers show you how much punctuation you should have? How many punctuation marks? Hold up those fingers. Good. 8. So your partner should have 8. If they don't have 8, you got to help them get 8 on there. Okay? All right, here you go. Here it is. You have checked for capital letters. You have checked for understanding. Does it make sense? You have checked for punctuation. Now you are going to check for spelling. Okay? Now, your spelling might not be perfect, and that is quite all right. I want it to be the best that you can do. I also want it to be the best that your partner can do. So you will check in with your partner and see if they can help you spell as well. So I'm looking at my spelling. This is another time that I have to read every single word, okay? We have made it safely to the new world. There were some troubles, but we got there. That doesn't make sense. On the boat, a lot of people got sick. It was really stinky. The boat rid was over 2 months long. We had to stay on the bottom of the ship so we didn't foul off. The deck, I think deck is wrong too. Thankfully, when we got off the boat, life got better. We were able to build shelters out of the many trees on the coast. Each family made one house with a big room that everyone stayed in. I have to share a bed with my little sister, which isn't fun. Oh, B/C, that doesn't belong in writing. We need the full word. Because and kick. That's like the app. That's not how you actually spell kick. Kicks me in the face at night. That's how you text night. That's not how you spell it. But it isn't bad when we get to cozy up to the fire to stay warm. Mother also uses the fire to cook the chickens we brought home from England. And you are going to keep reading everything else that your partner wrote. Okay, for the sake of time, I'm going to pretend I read all of it. And now I'm going to go here. Okay, there says there. I know that there is supposed to have an E on the end of it. I just forgot. So I'm going to add that E. Okay. I don't think I know how to spell a couple of these. So I'm going to check in with my partner. I know that ride has an E at the end. And I think fall, partner, can you help me spell fall? Terrence, how do I spell fall? Be my partner.
FALL.
Oh, it's 2 L's. Thank you, partner. Fall off the deck. I don't think deck only has a K. What else is it supposed to have? Who can be my partner with deck? How am I meant to spell deck? CK. Thank you, partner. So I need to add a C in there. Okay. And then I know that because is supposed to be written out, not just the B/C. So my partner and I are going to look at our spelling. And again, it won't be perfect because we're still learning how to spell some words, but you should make some changes. Okay. So look at your partner's spelling. And your partner will look at your spelling, and this is the last edit that we are going to do, okay? All righty, I'm going to send you to your rooms, and you are looking at your partner's spelling. I want to go over slide 6, as William asked earlier. Remember, we looked at this yesterday in the video for Ms. Sharp. This is how you are being graded. So if you want an A+, you are going to do all of these things. Okay, so you can know what grade you're going to get before you ever turn this in. All right, you're going to look at your letter. Do you have the date? Yes, I get all 3 points. Greeting, do you say, "Dear Uncle Thomas"? Yes, I get all 3 points. Closing, did you change this? If it still says closing, you've got to change it to something like "see ya" or "love you" or "hope you're good," something that you would say at the end of a conversation. I said "with love," so I get all my points. Signature, did you type your name? Yes, I did. I get all 3 points. Describes the journey. Did I talk about my boat ride? I'm going to go see. Oh, look, boat ride. It was stinky, 2 months long. Yes, I did. And there are 2 interesting facts. So you got to say 2 things about it. That's where those 8 sentences comes from. Describes the shelter. Did I talk about the house? I'm going to go see. We got off the boat. We were able to build shelters out of trees. Each family made one big room that everyone stayed in. Yes, I talked about the shelter. And there are 2 interesting facts. So you're going to go grade yourself and read for each thing. Okay? So you're going to read your statement and see, yes, I did it. No, I didn't. Or I only put one thing. I only said one thing that was fun. I didn't put 2. So you're going to grade yourself. I will be putting your grade on here as well. This is where you will find your final grade. Okay? And again, grades are going to be done before I go to bed tonight. All right. So you're going to be able to see how you've done on this by the end of the day, which means you have to get it done by the end of the day. Okay. So this is your rubric. During your independent work time, you're going to complete this. And when it's all done, when you've got all 8 sentences, when you've graded yourself and you're sure this is perfect, this is great work, you're going to click that green check and turn it in. Okay. That is what your independent work is for today.